In this question, we need to figure out what the scale factors are for each one of these parts, A, B, and C. Now here's some information that's going to help. In each one of these parts, we have a pre-image, which is represented by points A, B, C, or A, B, C, D, or A, B, C here. Something happens to that shape, which is what we call the pre-image, and we result in the image. Those are all the figures denoted with the prime. So that's going to be like that little apostrophe thing there. So we have A prime here, B prime, C prime, and then so on. Now two things could happen. It could get bigger, which is what we call an enlargement, or it could get smaller, which is called a reduction. In this first example, we have triangle ABC. We're going to call this the pre-image, and then we're left with the image, which is A prime, B prime, and C prime. It obviously got bigger, so we have an enlargement, and we need to figure out what the scale factor is. So by how big did that enlarge? So how many times did that increase? So let's figure out what our side lengths are here first. From A to B, it looks like we have 2 units, and from A to C, we have 4 units. We could use the distance formula to figure out the distance from B to C, but let's just ignore that for now. From A prime to B prime, we see that that's going to be 4 units, and from A prime to C prime, I believe that is 8 units. Now we already said that from our pre-image to our image we increased, right? We had an enlargement, and that's a dilation. And dilations depend on the whole idea that these two triangles here are similar. So that means all the angles are the same and all the corresponding sides are in the same ratio. So to figure out our scale factor, all we have to do is figure out the ratio from corresponding sides. So we know that our AB is going to be corresponding with side A prime B prime. And our side AB we said was 2. So that's going to set up a ratio with 4 because that's the length of A prime to B prime. Additionally, we know that from A to C, that was 4 in our first triangle here, which was our pre-image, and then A prime to C prime, that's what side that it corresponds with for this triangle, that was 8. So we go from 2 to 4 and 4 to 8. By how much did 2 and 4 increase to get the 4 and the 8? Looks like we doubled it. So the scale factor is going to be 2 because it was like 2 times these side lengths. So that's going to be our answer for this one. In the second example, we have to figure out the scale factor as well. So we're going to figure out all the side lengths first. So we have 3 units on this side, 3 units on this side. From D to C, it looks like we have 9 units, and from A to B, we have 9 units as well. From D prime to C prime, we have 3. From C to B prime, we have just 1. This is 1, and then this side is 3 as well. So rectangle ABCD is going to be the pre-image, and then the rectangle with all the primes with A prime, B prime, C prime, and D prime, that's going to be the image. So what happened from this rectangle to this one? And it looks like it shrunk, so we're going to have a reduction. And now we have to look at the corresponding sides. So it looks like side AB corresponds with A prime and B prime. So side AB was 9, and that's going to be in ratio to A prime and B prime, which is 3. And let's do another one. It looks like BC is going to correspond with B prime and C prime, and BC was 3, and then B prime and C prime, that was 1. So what happened from 9 to 3, and what happened from 3 to 1? Well, it looks like we took 9 and divided it by 3 to get that, and then took 3 and divided by 3 to get this. So the scale factor is going to be 1/3, because we could have said that we take 9 and multiply it by 1/3. That would give us 9 over 3, which is just 3. Or you could take 3, multiply it by 1/3. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 is in the bottom, and then we're left with 1. So that gave us our 3 and then our 1. So like I said, again, our scale factor is 1/3. And if the whole fraction thing confuses you, think of like if I had, I don't know, 10 to 5 and then maybe 8 to 4 and you're trying to think what the scale factor is here. Well, from 10 to 5 it looks like we divided by 2, and from 8 to 4 we divided by 2. So the scale factor here would be 1/2, because you would multiply 10 by 1/2 to get 5, multiply 8 by 1/2 to get 4. So there's another situation where you'd have a reduction or a fraction as a scale factor. This last example is, in my opinion, the hardest one, and that's because when we're trying to figure out the lengths of each of these sides, it's not so easy. We would have to use the distance formula to come up with those lengths. So to get around doing the distance formula, what we can use is the slope from corresponding points. So because there's a dilation happening here, triangle ABC is enlarging to get the image of A prime, B prime, C prime. We know that point C and B correspond with C prime and B prime. So let's figure out what that slope is. From C to B we have to go up 1 and then over 1, 2, 3. So the slope is going to be up 1 and then over 3. So we go rise over run, right? Well, let's do C prime to B prime. So we go up 1, 2, 3, and then over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So again, we went up 3 and then over 9. Well, how did we get from 1 to 3 and then 3 to 9? And it looks like we multiplied the top part and the bottom part both by 3. So it seems like the scale factor then is going to be 3. However, let's try that again. Except this time let's go from C to A. So it looks like we're going down 1 and then over to the right 1, 2, 3, 4. So because we're going down, I'll do negative, and then we went forward 4 times. So now let's match that up from C prime to A prime. So it looks like we have to go down 1, 2, 3, and then over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we went down 3, so a negative 3, and then over 12. What did we do to get from negative 1 to negative 3, and then from 4 to 12? It looks like we again multiplied it by 3. So that confirms that the scale factor is indeed 3. And you could have done that with the slope of B to A, and then from B prime to A prime you'd multiply that slope by 3, and that would just confirm our scale factor once again.